He started the Kirk talk. Anyways, so yeah, Lou Bookman. I thought this one was pretty interesting. I do like it how like obviously he's a street salesman, this, that, and blah, 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 blah. Sells toys, lotions, trinkets, all over to the neighborhood and neighborhood kids. And then he gets visited by Mr. Death and told that he is going to die at midnight of natural causes. And
yes.
It's like anybody else. Doesn't want to die.
It's a little bit of a shocker, a little bit much for a human to take in, knowing the time.
Yeah, that brings a lot into this. Like, why is Death telling him in the first place? This guy doesn't seem like a very immoral, bad person when we first start out. So it doesn't seem like this is a lesson for him to learn so he can, like, go to heaven or something or become a better person. But either way, that's just an odd thing that Death would come out. Like, whatever. It's Twilight Zone. Who the fuck? You can't really quantify anything. It's the fucking Twilight Zone. But
well, it's not really to question. These things are more or less to accept.
It's the Twilight Zone. You can't question.
If something happens, say it happened to you, it happens nonetheless, regardless somebody else believes it, right? So I guess
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But
so he had his experience and his trip into the Twilight Zone.
This was his experience. See this. Thank you. This is why I talk to you, man. I ask these big questions as to why this, and then you go and take it back to the most obvious answer. It's the Twilight Zone. He tells you in the beginning of the show, you're not in your normal place.
Right.
You're in a place just next to normal. So
I've had enough strange things happen in my own damn life. I question everything.
This is the Twilight Zone.
Why we're on the freaky space.
This is the freaky space.
Because space can be anywhere.
It
right?
can be.
It could be in the Earth. It could be in space itself.
It could be the space
inside your mind.
It could be the space between you and me as we talk. It could be any space. Inner space. I'm not getting into inner space. I don't want to talk about that show eventually. Final space. But anyways. So yes.
Let's keep this.
Keep this rolling. He gets told he's going to die of natural causes, and obviously unable to dissuade Death by convincing him he has great achievement in the works but must be completed. Bookman eventually convinces him to wait until he's made the greatest sales pitch. One for the Angels. Roll credits. There's the title. After Death has agreed to his extension, he asks when the grand pitch might take place. Bookman announces that he's retiring, smug that he has successfully cheated Death. Death concedes to Bookman and that he has found a loophole in their agreement, but warns him that someone else who has to die in his place. Death chooses Maggie, a little girl in Bookman's apartment, and one of his friends. Maggie is hit by a truck and falls into a coma. Death instead intends to take her the room from the stroke of midnight when she dies. Bookman begs Death to take him instead, but Death is adamant. A deal is a deal. Bookman gets out his wares and begins to do the best sales pitch of all time. And in turn causes Death to miss his timing in getting Maggie's soul, and at the same time also fulfilling his requirements to die for Death by giving the best pitch of all time, one for the Angels, to Death himself, distracting him from his job. And in the end, walking hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with Death into the afterlife. I just went afterlife. Fuck, I gotta stop drinking.
Yes. Hey man, then it wouldn't be D&T.
It would not be D&T. It would not be a drunk nerd talks if it wasn't inebriated in some way with marijuana or alcohol. But yeah, that is the sum up of the episode. And I do like how they just kind of went full circle with him, but I think it was just Death being bored, honestly. Because it's the Twilight Zone. Obviously, it's not our dimension, but I think he was just, you know what? This guy seems like a decent guy. Let's
gave him a chance.
Let's see what he'll do.
Death essentially gave him a chance.
For what reason? I don't know.
Doesn't have to be a reason.
No, but I wonder if he would have said he wasn't retiring and he was just like, well, you know what? I'm going to take a little while. I have to work up to it. It might take me another 10 years. to do this greatest pitch? Would Death have actually said, like, oh, somebody else has to go in your place still? Or is it, okay, I'll wait 10 years?
Well, I just kind of want to point out the compassion, though, side as well from Death on the aspect, because even after all the banter and back and forth from, Jesus, what did I just forget? Bookman?
Yeah, Lou Bookman. Well, the compassion from Death, you were saying.
Yeah, yes. Lost between drunk nerd talks, hey. But from even though all the banter back and forth, Death decided to give him, a chance anyways to do his pitch for the Angels. And, even though he decided to be a slick little shit and try to worm his way out of it, Death was still, in a sense, compassionate.
Well, yeah, he was giving this guy a chance. He's like, all right, I'll let you do this. I'm not necessarily going to take you today, but if you don't go today, I'm going to take this chick. Like, it's a natural order of things. Death has to happen. Things have to be born. Things have to die. There's a schedule.
Well, by doing that, it was really pulling out his moral code, I guess. You're not going to let a little child die, are you?
No, right? But I wonder, though, at the same time, like, Death at the same time, I know at the end he was all like, hey, yeah, you made it up there to the nice, like, what was the line? You never know who might need something up there. He looks at Death, adding hopefully, up there? And Death replies, Mr. Bookman, up there. You made it. Right? And that I do like that, and he has the smirk on his face, but I wonder if he's just happy that he got into heaven for him, or if he actually, because Death is either one hell of a great actor, or Bookman actually sold him on a bunch of shit, because he was like sweating bullets going, give me the next product, what do you got to sell, what do you got, what do you got? So, like, was he actually into it? Was Death like just like, hey, fuck it, I want these trinkets, why? I'm Death, I don't need them, but fuck it, this is good shit. Right? Or was he just the greatest actor getting Bookman to keep going to do the sales pitch, right?
It's hard to say, right?
Darkest of all. How about this? Darkest of all. What if Bookman was going to die regardless, and this was just a sick joke from Death the whole time? Which is totally a possibility. He could have just came in and be like, you know what? I'm going to tell this guy I'm going to fucking kill. If he doesn't die, I'll give him a chance. But whatever his answer, I'm going to tell him I'm going to kill this girl because I know she gets hit by a car this afternoon. She's not meant to die yet, but I'm going to make him think that she's going to die and make him sweat bullets. Why? Because I'm Death. Fuck you, that's why. Right? Like, there's so many ways you could go with this.
Yeah, that's a pretty...
It's a dark one, that one. But hey, I'm just seeing it from all sides here, right? But yeah, no, that was still a very, as they all are, and I'm going to say for everyone that we finished talking about, it was a great episode regardless.
Still one of my favorites.
It was fantastic. Edwin as Lou J. Bookman. Murray Hamilton as Mr. Death. Both of them did a fantastic job. And I know I've seen this Edwin, the guy who played Lou Bookman in other things, of the same time.
You realize who that is, my friend, right?
I am not. Who is Ed Wynn? Like Ed W. Then last name is W-Y-N-N. I can't place him, but I know I've seen him in other stuff. I know it. Big stuff too.
Yeah, just think about it, man.
I got nothing, man. I'm drawing a blank. Like I see it in my head.
Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz.
Was he? Oh no, he. Yeah, what? No. Really? Huh. That's cool as fuck, man. Huh? That is dope as hell.
I'm pretty sure he was in The Wizard of Oz. He was one of the characters in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, I'm going to look that shit up. Hold on. He's on here. We'll look him up here. We'll have him. Yeah, because I've seen him in a lot of different stuff. Oh, dude. Me and him share a birthday. Whoa, that can't be right. Oh, yeah. Okay. He was literally born 100 years before me. That's cool. That's fucking cool. He was born in 1886. All right, I'm getting off topic here. Films. Let's see what he's been in. Oh, wow. He was the Mad Hatter in Disney's Alice in Wonderland in 1961. He was in Mary Poppins. That's what I know him from. Fucking Mary Poppins. I fucking knew that. Which he played the eccentric Uncle Albert. He was Uncle Albert in Mary Poppins. I fucking knew I saw him and shit.
Mary Poppins. I'm pretty sure he was in The Wizard of Oz, though, was he not?
It's not showing up here, but
not
he's in
coming
a
up.
lot of. He was the original absent-minded professor, the Nutty Professor.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the original.
I'm just trying to remember, because I know his face specifically from an old black and white movie that I loved. I can't remember what the hell it was, though, now.
I don't know.
This is going to bother me.
But either way, yeah, you're right. He's been in a ton of shit. That's why I was like, I fucking know this old dude. Yeah, he was in a lot of iconic, like, childhood-shaping shit. Wow. That's cool. All right, yeah, so there we go. That's a neat one. But yeah, that's one for the Angels. That is a fantastic episode, which turned out learning quite a few. That's why I love this stuff. I'm not one for doing 100% research on stuff. I'll just do it on the topic at hand. And then during the cast, I'll just do quick searches while I'm like, what the fuck? What? Holy shit! Right? Like, why not? This is when I learn the most things usually, is when I'm doing this shit.
You can't script everything, man. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, you can't script shit. Oh God, if people could only see my notebook. I should take pictures and shit, put it on the fucking Instagram. My mad ramblings. I'm going to do that at some point. Oh God, people will think I'm a goddamn madman with my fucking scribbles. All right.
Hey, we're all mad here.
We are all mad in the freaky space. But on to the last topic for this episode, the third episode of the Twilight Zone.
Just remember, don't get boring, get weird.
Get weird, get freaky, get freaky. Mr. Denton on Doomsday. Yes, this one is a fun one because it's old-timey Western times, which I love about the Twilight Zone because it jumps around from like the super future to the past to the present, which was the 1950s at the time and 60s. But I do love that. I really do love that.
Good old shoot 'em up.
Oh, God. I found the opening narration. I could read it again. Oh, wow, it's not that long. I'll give it a quick read. Portrait of a town drunk named Al Denton. This is a man who began his dying early along, agonizing through a maze of bottles. It's a weird way. Agonizing through a weird maze of bottles. That can't be right. I'm going to have to rewatch the episode. Al Denton, who would probably give his arm or leg or part of his soul to have another chance to be able to rise up and shake the dirt off his body and the bad dreams that infest his consciousness. Camera pans over to a figure standing before a stagecoach. Now there's things. In the parlance of the time, this is a peddler. Right? I'm setting the scene. In the parlance of the time, this is a peddler, a rather fanciful-looking man in the black frock coat. Revolver mysteriously appears on the ground next to Denton. And this is the third principal character of our story. Its function, perhaps to give Mr. Al Denton a second chance. Oh, God, yeah, that was a fun one. There was like a whole panel. Some
semblance of salvation.
Okay, so somebody wrote in the narration here. I just Googled the narration. I can't be 100% on this because I'm not going to take the time to write it down. I'm too lazy. Let's be honest here. I'm a nerd. I have games and shit to do. But I still got more Final Fantasy shit to cover. That takes up a lot of my time. But anyways, yeah, I just had like a whole pan over to that, whatever. The plot of this one is Mr. Denton. He is a drunk of the town, Old West town. He was a great shot. Then he started feeling really bad for the people that he killed and started being a drunk because of it and just drinking his depression of killing young people who came at him all the time. I do like the fact that the stagecoach driver it's just straight in your face as to who and what he is Mr. Fate. So I wonder who he is.
Mr. Fate. It's a good question. I wonder what